Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today I have a simple question compared to the more complex philosophical issues we've been looking at. Where is Scarecrow's engine? It was on the Resolute when Robot presumably attacked. We know this because it took the Resolute and all the Jupiters to the system with an unnamed planet. It was on the Resolute when the Resolute picked up the Robinsons. We know this because the crew was confident they could jump back on course. Then the second alien robot, Tsar, and Robot Robinson crashed into the Resolute and had their knockdown drag-out where Robot Robinson was defending the colonists from SAR. Next, we see the Resolute in the danger system, which presumably means that the ship jumped through the rift, same as the Robinson's Jupiter did. Except the Robinson's Jupiter was using Robinson's engine, and the Resolute must have used Scarecrow's engine. Now we can assume Scarecrow's engine was close enough to the Resolute at that point that the Resolute would at least be pulled through the rift after it. So we can assume it was on the Resolute, as it were. And we have never seen Scarecrow's engine again since it made that jump. It is stated in the show that SAR stole the engine. How exactly would be difficult to say. SAR was fighting it out with Robot Robinson while he was on the Resolute. However, SAR's attention would have been on getting the engine. Robot Robinson's attention would have been on protecting the colonists. Now we assume that SAR removed Robot Robinson by force from the Resolute because SAR appeared to be holding Robot Robinson hostage on the Amber Planet. That would have been tricky. Robot Robinson started the fight in fairly good shape. He had only taken a few major hits. He would have been more than 3 handfuls in that fight. SAR was blinded, missing an arm, and only marginally larger than Robot to start off with. Of course, SAR did have 2 major advantages. Robot Robinson showed on the Jupiter that he only cares about protecting human life, not about keeping the engines in human possession. Robot was fully ready to hand over his own engine on the Jupiter. He seemed almost eager to get it gone, until SAR threatened to kill Will. Even then, Robot only moved SAR. Then the fight got serious. Both robots impacted the Resolute. At some point, Robot was defending the colonists. We know that because of what the colonists said afterward. Presumably, SAR could have used Robot's compassion against him. It would be a typical antagonist move. SAR would have had hundreds of hostages at the ready. If he managed to escape, he could have remotely threatened to destroy something critical in the ship, thereby using every person as a hostage. Of course, the other option would have been more dramatic, better cinema if you were. SAR figuring out that Robot was defending the humans and snatching the nearest human to keep prisoner and 2 of his remaining claws, then pointing his thermal weapon at the terrified human from above. Robot would have been under his control then, to a point. Robot leading him down the hallways, calming the colonists and security forces, would have probably led him right to the engine. Remember, Robot Robinson doesn't really care about keeping the engines in human hands. And then they would reach the engine room. Here's where it gets murky. We can only theorize so far. Both Scarecrow and his engine were in that room. Either SAR, Robot, or both entered the engine room and removed the engine. They or he left Scarecrow. Now, it might have been simply a tactical decision. SAR does not seem like the no marine left behind type. He might have secured his mission objective and left, knowing that he didn't have the resources to take Scarecrow with him. But he did take Robot with him. Then they traveled to the Amber Planet, a robot-controlled planet with that equatorial robot healing ring. However, there isn't a scrap of evidence that they deliberately went there or that they wanted to be there. Now, SAR had a ship, presumably with his own engine. One assumes that after he got Scarecrow's engine, he retreated to his ship with Robot and went to the Amber Planet. But why? Even though there was a magic robot healing ring on the planet, he was only partially repaired from the fight, not healed, save his unmelted faceplate. And Robot Robinson made very clear to Will that the Amber Planet was Scarecrow's planet, not his, and therefore presumably not SAR's, because Robot and SAR share the same color pattern and color scheme. Whereas Scarecrow, when he was fully healed, was a bright, shiny gold, and the rest of the robots that Scarecrow did battle with on the Resolute were bright, shiny silver. So, presumably, SAR and Robot Robinson came from the same planet, and that was not the Amber Planet. So why didn't SAR just take his ship and jump directly to his home planet? SAR met Will with no backup, no ship, no friends. Robot Robinson was shoved down a hole. SAR only came out after dark. These are things that someone does when they're operating under conditions of secrecy. This is something a character will do when someone might crop out and start taking pot shots at him, and the SAR really doesn't have much respect at all for humans or human tech. Therefore, he probably wasn't scared of the few human colonists who came to visit the Amber Planet. So what was he hiding from? Who was he hiding from? Is it possible that SAR and Robot are both persona non grata on the Amber Planet? Does Scarecrow's mark suggest a factional difference more than a factory of origin difference? Is Scarecrow a sort of natural enemy to Robot Robinson and SAR? All possible, but it still demands a question. Where did SAR's ship go? The ship we saw come in at the bottom of the screen. It's a scene way back when Robot Robinson first reconnects to the ship after Dr. Smith puts him back together. You see Robot Robinson pull up the map of the solar system, and you can see one of the robot ships coming in the bottom corner of the screen. It's after that that Robot started acting weird. So we know, and then after that SAR showed up. So we know SAR has a ship. We've seen it. Where did SAR's engine go? Where did Scarecrow's engine that SAR stole off the Resolute go? Yes, I say stole, not retrieved, because the original owners of that engine probably do have a right to retrieve it, but I'm not convinced that SAR is the original owner. I'll get into that in another video. We can be reasonably sure neither SAR nor Robot went through unshielded atmospheric reentry and a ballistic landing. There isn't a crater large enough nearby. They landed on that planet in a ship. That ship was there. Where is it now? If SAR had a ship, why didn't he go get Will Robinson instead of just luring him to Robot? If SAR had a ship, presumably it had some sort of facility for controlling Robot. Why didn't he use it? Perhaps SAR was hiding the ship and the engine elsewhere on the Amber Planet and was just killed before he had a chance to use anything from it. And here is a possibility that I will go further into in other videos. Perhaps members of SAR's and Robot's faction are not welcome on Scarecrow's planet, and perhaps the ship was hidden not from the humans, but from Scarecrow's fellow shiny golds. Or perhaps Scarecrow's engine, SAR's engine, and SAR's ship were all found and confiscated by the shiny gold robots like Scarecrow. But this is all just speculation. All we really have left is a question. There are two engines missing, Scarecrow's engine and SAR's engine. Where are they? So, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Where is Scarecrow's engine? Where is SAR's engine? Where is SAR's ship? Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and leave a comment to provide your own theories. Peace out, my wonderful viewers.